Hi, this is George from Upfish, your marketing automation expert, and I have a new video today to show you, which is how to get your Loom videos that you record in Loom to automatically go out to YouTube, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you want it to go. So the basic idea is Loom video recorded, pushed out to socials automatically, which should help you save a lot of time. Now, before I get started, I should say it's very, very early in the morning. I only woke up 10 minutes ago, so I'm not going to be my usual preppy self. It's just tomorrow is a holiday in Portugal, and I want to get this out of the way done. So I apologize if it's not as high energy as you're normally used to. So before we get into this, I'm just going to take a step back and explain this workflow might not be for everybody. This is a workflow I've designed to use for myself. And I hope that it will be applicable to a lot of other people. But the beauty of Make and the way that I'll explain this is to show you how it can be easily customized to anything you need to know. So the idea here is that for my company, at least, as you see, if you're watching this, I make a lot of YouTube videos and I record all of them on Loom. So what I wanted was a system where I, instead of having to, go into Loom, download the video, upload it to YouTube, create a thumbnail, create a description, post it on social media, blah, 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 blah. I wanted something that would just automate this for me. So at the very first bat, the first thing you're going to learn here is how to use the Loom HTTP calls, because Loom don't actually have an API. So this might be interesting for a lot of people who use Loom. And then in terms of the wider use case for this, so I think for anybody like myself, if you don't work for a very large company, when it comes to creating content, you're going to just want to focus on one channel. So I focus entirely on making videos. It might be that you focus entirely on making blog posts or making really cool LinkedIn posts or building your community. And so the idea here is that those posts that you actually put the effort into making, we can automatically use that information, that original content, and turn it into assets and content we can put in other places. So in my use case, it is Loom. So what is going to happen is I'm going to make the Loom videos. I'm going to basically copy and paste the videos, and I'll show you how it's possible to maybe automate that if I haven't quite figured it out. But the idea here is this. In terms of inputs, we have an Airtable, which I will show you here. So this is an example one I've done before. But basically, every time I have a new Loom video, all I need to do is add in a name. I need to add in the Loom link, and then it's very, very easy to copy and paste the captions. If I show you it here, let me just get rid of this inspect element. So essentially here I can just press on copy and put it in. And then once I've added that into the Airtable, the rest of it will run. Sorry, I should add as well. I like to add in a screenshot of the automations I build. So for example, something like this. But again, this is specific to me. This is what I do. For you, you might want to automate it to be something generated. We'll come into it later, but you might just think ahead. This might be more appropriate for your use case to have something automated from DALL-E or from Midjourney or something. But it'll make more sense when we get into the video proper. But long story short, the idea here is that we get a title of a video, a Loom link to the video, and the captions and everything else will just get posted for us. So without further ado, let's jump into the automation. So step one is I'm watching for the new videos. So as I mentioned before, once I've created the Loom video, I'll add it into my Airtable. Okay. After that, we have a text parser. So this takes the Loom link and it gets the ID of the video. So the Loom link in full will be something like www.loom.com/share/az blah, 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 blah. And we want that az blah, 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 blah. So that's what that does. Then we get a download link. So we make a call to loom.com/API/campaign/sessions, and then the regex. I've recently discovered it's not regex, it's regex. And maybe people have been laughing at me all this time. I don't care. Either way, we put that code in and the transcoded URL, and we post that, and then Loom returns us a downloadable link of the video. The next stage is for me to get the YouTube description. So for this, I use an assistant. So I've created a chief content officer. You don't really need to use one. You can just use a normal chat GPT with really detailed instructions. The advantage I have with the chief content officer is that if you see my previous videos, I have an automation which basically takes files I create and automatically uploads it to the assistant. And this assistant has basically a file with all of my internal links. So things here like my YouTube channel subscriber link, my newsletter link, social media links, Gumroad links, all of this stuff. It also has a list of my 10 highest performing LinkedIn posts, so it can learn about my writing style, all of this stuff. So that's the only reason I use an assistant. You don't need to. But anyway, the first thing I want is a YouTube description. So I tell it, I've made a video. Here's the title of the video. I provide a transcript, and I tell it basically this is my format for my YouTube video description. So I ask it for a strong intro where it summarizes the video and it uses some keywords. I ask it to add in some call to actions. So I ask it for promotional links after that. Oops, sorry. My mistake, sorry. Again, very early in the morning for me. I ask it for some promotional links to add in. So my YouTube link, subscriber link, social media links, course affiliate links. I should add in as well my school link now as well. Ways to contact me. So for example, my email, my tidycal or whatever. I ask it to link to things I mentioned in the video. So it will, if I mention Airtable, it will add in airtable.com. I ask it for some timestamps. I tell it to use emojis and hashtags. I always tell it to use Make, George Woodworth, and marketing automation. That's it. So pretty simple. So again, if you're doing this, adjust it to what you want. Although I think that's a pretty strong template for YouTube descriptions. After that, we have 5 branches. I should say this doesn't need to be a branch. This could just be a long line, but it makes it a little bit harder to understand what's going on, which is why I've done this. So the first branch is basically just updating a record. So this will say that the video that I've put into Airtable, it just changes the status to approved to YouTube. So essentially, it's saying it's gone from a status of open to like here is some content, here is a video. Is this approved to go out or not? Pretty simple. I add in the file URL from the download link. And the file name, so this will upload the file to Airtable. I put in the YouTube description as well, and then that's that one. This just handles the YouTube and the YouTube description. The next stage is images. So when I'm uploading to YouTube, I need a thumbnail for YouTube. I also need a thumbnail for my Gumroad, which is a slightly different size. So the first stage here is to basically just get a thumbnail title. So this again doesn't need to be an assistant, although mine is, just because I'm copying and pasting a lot of the modules as I go along. Here is a YouTube video description. So I add in my YouTube description and I tell it I need a really short title, maybe 5 words max, to overlay on a thumbnail to attract attention. If appropriate, try to use automate or AI or at scale. So for example, find more leads. And then that will basically, because obviously the thumbnail, if I have a very long title in my YouTube, I don't want my thumbnail to have like 20, 30, 40 words in it. It makes no sense. You won't be able to read it. I need it to be like 4 or 5 words max. So this just gives me an alternative title for it. Then we have another GPT here. This is a normal GPT. What I'm asking for is basically to clean the title. The reason for this is because, well, here's an example input. Sometimes the previous assistant will be like, oh, sure, here is your title, turbocharge your sales, .. or whatever. And it's annoying. Basically, previously what I would do is I would run it so many times and then constantly update the prompt in the previous get a thumbnail module until it's like perfect. I tell it, don't use this, please use that. This is an example, this is an example. Or I would use a regex to be like, all right, try and find, take out use anything in between a quotation mark. But as OpenAI's gotten cheaper and I've gotten lazier, I just use AI to do this for me now. So I say, here is an example input, here is a title, this is a previous output it gave me before, and I say, I want you to turn it into this, turbocharge your sales. Okay, so this just basically cleans up the title for me. The next step is to search the records. So this one here is templates. So templates, what are these? So if I come back into my Airtable, I have something here called templates. So I have a template so again, I'm keeping this very simple for my use case. For you, you might have thumbnail templates for YouTube, for Gumroad, hero images on your landing page, banner images on email, whatever. I don't like to use the same one. So the idea here is that if you have multiple different templates, like template 1, template 2, template 3, template 4, template 5, you'll pick a random one each time. So your YouTube, when someone looks at your YouTube channel, it's not just a series of identical images, or if someone opens your email, it's not the same image style each time. That's the basic idea here. We just have multiple templates. So how do I create these templates? I go into Creatormate, and so I build these templates in Creatormate. So for example, here is a template I have for YouTube Shorts. What is this? Basically, for YouTube Shorts, what I want to do is I just want to take the bottom left half of the video, which is where you can see me going hello, and just upload it to a vertical screen for Shorts. So this is my storytelling template. For the Gumroads, I need just an image which is 600 by 600. So I overlay just a simple, just my simple style of Gumroads. This is the template here. I have the text, which is dynamic. I have the image, which is not dynamic. This is this little rectangular border. And then I have a background image where I'll overlay the screenshot that I take earlier. So that's for the Gumroad. And then I have two for YouTube. So again, it's the same thing. Basically, to create a YouTube template, I change the size to 1280 by 720. I have a background image, which is dynamic. So again, this will be the screenshot. And then we have a text, which is dynamic, which is what is created in the ChatGPT. So I take this template ID, I put it into my ID column here in my Airtable. So you can make as many or as few of these as you want. But the idea here is that we're asking Airtable to find these templates. So type, in this case, I'm making a YouTube template. So it's saying type equals YouTube. So again, if I come back here, the type YouTube, Gumroad, you might have email, as I mentioned before, landing page or whatever. So that makes it very easy for you to add things and alternate it. You just need to change the formula type. So it will grab the two YouTube templates. It will grab them in two bundles. So we have an array aggregator here, basically, and what that does is it will just turn those two bundles into one bundle. And then I have an iterator, which I ask it to shuffle. So normally it would always be like number one, number two, number one, number two. It would always be in the order of 1 and 2. So it would always be in the order of YouTube 1, then YouTube 2. But by using the shuffle, after it iterates what I've aggregated as an array, I hope this makes sense, it will be like 2 and then 1 sometimes. Or if I have five templates, it will be like maybe 3, 1, 4, 5, 2. So it shuffles the order of them. And that means I can use this filter here to say whatever is the first one, it's always going to be random. Which comes into Creatormate, we'll make a post call to the renders. And what we're doing here is we're just sending a message. We're giving it the template ID we got from the random iterator. And then the modifications, the background is the screenshot that I added manually. And then the text is what's coming from OpenAI. So it will take the image and it will overlay a text. In terms of possible alternatives, if you don't want to take screenshots of your Loom videos or whatever, you don't need to add this. You can have just like a generic background of color. There's a load of ways to do the templates so that you don't need a screenshot as I use them. Or you can use the screenshot that is supplied by Loom. There's another way. If you make just a HTTP call to the original share, you'll see that within that detail there is always like an image. It's easy to figure out, but I like to have a different image each time. So this is why the background image gets added in. So it makes a call to here. And then the same is true of making the Gumroad thumbnail. So this time the message ID, I don't have this dynamic because I just have one Gumroad template. But if you have multiple Gumroad templates, or imagine this was for email, oopsie daisy, press the wrong button then you would just repeat this process. You would make another search records. This time instead of searching for YouTube, you would search for email, or you would search for type Gumroad. Then you'd aggregate the array, iterate, and then map that template ID to this one. And then after that, it's a pretty simple process. We update we update a record. So within the record ID of the video in the video content tab, we're just adding in the links it returns us. So this is the link to get the YouTube thumbnail. This is the link to get the Gumroad thumbnail. So if you see here, these are some successful requests I've made. In the data, you get the ID of the image you've created, the URL, the output format, blah, 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 blah. So that's easy enough to map. So that's all we map here. And then I have creator records. So I add this to the end of all of them. These are just little tasks. So I've started experimenting in my Gumroad of having an in tray. And what this does is it just creates, instead of me needing to check Airtable every day and manually look at lots of different tabs here, what is in which view, what is happening, this in tray just acts as like a central hub. So you see here, I've been testing it. I have a task here. I need to approve the LinkedIn copy for something. I should probably improve this by linking it to an exact record, which would be the version 2 of this. So I can just click on the record and it will open. But this lets me know that there's some LinkedIn copy I need to approve for a YouTube video. There's some blogs I need to approve. It's to do, it's done. This is not 100% great. If you've seen my previous videos about setting up burner domains, We see here that I know, I've managed to map it to clients, so I know exactly how to find what I need. And I could do the same here, but I was a bit lazy because I don't do this for other clients. I just do it for me. But it's a very easy change if you want to make that. But to come back to the Loom video, so this just creates a task to say, all right, I've got some thumbnails I need to approve. So I'll just click in, I'll just jump into once I see that, I'll just pop into the Airtable. I'll come to my video content tab. And then, for example, this is one I ran earlier, but I'll be like, oh, there's some thumbnails I need to approve. So I'll just scroll down to the thumbnails created. You click on the link to open it up, and it'll come up with something like this. And I'll see here, I need to move the title down further. So this is something to do with the way that I've set up the template, because again, I was just making the template specifically for this video, so I didn't put a lot of thought into it. But I should say as well, I'm not a designer, I'm not a graphic designer. So this is going to take me a lot of trial and error to get right. But once you've done it, you've done it. So I still recommend going through with it. So in any case, that's what happens with the thumbnails. The next stage is the socials. So this is, again, something that you will want to change for your specific needs. Add in things like, I principally just work on LinkedIn and YouTube. You can easily just copy and paste these modules and add in things like Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or Reddit or wherever. It's pretty straightforward. But for me, I'll say here, I'm messaging my chief content officer. Again, the reason I'm using my assistant is because I have those files it can access with my LinkedIn writing style of my most popular LinkedIn posts and relevant links. But I'll just say this, here's a transcript of the video. I need some LinkedIn appropriate posts to attract chief marketing officers and chief sales officers to reach out to me. So this is basically my LinkedIn business post. So for this one, I'll say use my LinkedIn post example file, construct posts with a similar syntax, use of emojis, vocabulary. I'll tell it, basically I just want 2 posts. So I'm not one of these people who makes a video and then I post about the same video every day. The idea here is that I make a video, post about it once or twice, rest goes into a queue. So if I haven't posted anything, it will bring it back up from that queue and be like, okay, he hasn't posted this week. Here's a random post and it's about this video, put it in. I also have other systems to be like looking at my YouTube analytics, for example. So it might notice, this video is performing very well this week. We'll put out a post about that today. One from my Google Analytics to say, a lot of people are checking out this Gumroad page, post that today. Another one that looks at my school community to be like, this particular topic is very interesting to people, let's post something about that today. So there's a whole different inputs creating that. So I don't need this post to go out millions of times. I just basically need a post to say it's here. And then the rest of it is going to get put into Social Bee for scheduling later. But that's by the by. So essentially I'm saying here, I need 2 long posts. One, an announcement of the video, and one, a deep dive explanation of how the automation works. I tell it I need the output in a JSON file with the following formats: announcement deep dive, don't include links as I'll manually add a YouTube link later. And then I give it the transcript of the video. I tell it the tools to the file search, and this file search is the vectors that have my links and my LinkedIn things. And again, if you watch my previous videos on updating custom GPT files, you can make this dynamic. So if you are doing this service for multiple different clients, you would simply just create a column in the, actually no, if you were using my exact system, actually in the clients, you already have the chat ID vector file. So essentially what you would do is if you were doing this for multiple clients, you would just add in an extra module here, an Airtable for search and client records. And then you would map that result here to the file search resources. I only do this for myself, so I didn't bother. I know which one it is, so I just select it from the list. And then that will create information. The next step here is very similar to the one we saw in the previous branch, where I'm saying, here is a result I got, and just turn it into a valid JSON. The reason for that is because, again, when you're using assistants, it's very hard to force it to put an output in a JSON file. So it's always going to introduce it like, here is your JSON, here is information you want. And then at the end, please replace YouTube links, blah, 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 blah. It's very annoying. So again, usually I used to just spend a lot of time working on prompting to get it to work. And I got very annoyed with it. So in the end, I've just decided I'll use AI. And I'm not sure if you can see this. I can't make this bigger, but you can see here's a previous result, tilde JSON. So it's annoying. It doesn't work for me. So I just ask it, here is the message. Turn it into a valid JSON. Okay, and then that comes out in a JSON. I put that here into a JSON parser. So here is, you see here, This is a previous one, tilde, 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 JSON, and now it is just announcement this. So it passes the JSON of the LinkedIn business. Then, because I don't just work with businesses for freelance, I also have my school community, I have courses I sell. So I also like to put LinkedIn messages for solopreneurs. And for that, I have basically the same prompt. Here is a transcript of the video I supplied. I need some LinkedIn appropriate posts to attract solopreneurs to reach out and message me. Use my LinkedIn posts as examples. And this, instead of looking at a deep dive and an announcement, here there's an explanation of the benefits and a comparison of labor-intensive ways of doing it versus using an automation. Then it's the same thing. Give me a JSON in terms of benefits and comparison. Another GPT to turn into a valid JSON. This doesn't need to be an assistant, and I believe it is not an assistant. So yeah, I've changed the response format to JSON object here, obviously, and I ask it, here is the format of the JSON, goes into a JSON parser. Same thing. So again, I just click here, you see a tiny little bit here. Yeah, once again, tilde, 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 JSON benefits. Here, now it just says benefits. Great. Go to the JSON, and then again, just update the Airtable. So I will update the original video record in my Airtable with the announcement, the deep dive, the benefits, and the comparison. So these are the 4 LinkedIn posts that are going to be scheduled for this video. And then I create another record. So this is another in tray item to basically approve LinkedIn copy for this particular project. Easy peasy. The next stage is the things I need to do for Gumroad. So obviously once I've made a video, it usually follows an automation I've made like this. And then I'll download the JSON. And then I need to upload that JSON to Gumroad. I need to make a dedicated product page for it on Gumroad. I need to upload it to, I need to make sure the bundle I sell includes it and the subscription I sell includes it. I need to make a walkthrough document of how to install everything and what you have to change. I need to make a post on Gumroad to the subscribers to say, hey, there's a new module available. And I also would like to post about it in school. So I need an idea of how to post this. Now at school, they don't have an API, so I can't do this automatically. And honestly, I wouldn't anyway. It's nice to have the suggestion from ChatGPT of this is what you might want to talk about. But I have a very specific writing style in my school, and an API can, an AI couldn't replicate that. And it's, people don't pay to just have an AI talk to them. They pay to have me talk to them. So I do it myself. But the idea of this GPT is just to give me something I can say, right, here is if I need to make a long post, it just gives me, a structure to it, so it helps. In terms of the rest, Gumroad API is atrocious, so there's no way for me to automate this. So basically what I'm asking for here is just a Gumroad product page. I'm saying here's the transcripts of basically it's always the same. Here's the transcript of the video I made. Here is, some basic instructions, some basic formatting that I have for my Gumroad product pages. Please create me some copy. Goes into the Airtable, I modify it, and then I create it manually. Same goes for the walkthrough doc, same goes for the email blaster. So again, it's very similar to the other ones. Here are some captions, this is what I need. Yeah, and then I ask it for some specific call to action. Message assistant, okay. This will be changed. Oh, this is embarrassing. I'm messaging an assistant, a depreciated one, it says here. So I've made a mistake that I didn't notice. So I'll update this. It still works, but I'll update it before I put it as a JSON on my Gumroad and my school, as just discussed, so that it is with actual messaging an assistant. That was an oversight on my part, but whatever. So anyway, it makes those 4 key pieces I need, updates the Airtable with the copy, and then creates an in-tray item again to say, please approve all of the various Gumroad and school content things, and to make the modifications and to manually post them. And then finally, we have the small video. So again, I don't use Instagram. I don't use TikTok. I don't think there's a lot of people scrolling through TikTok looking for, 30-minute videos on automation. So at the very least, though, it's something I wanted to experiment with. So for a small video, what I've done here, again, I have a completion to say you're a social media expert. I need a very short overlay for a video I'm creating. So the idea here is that I'll create a 20-second video summarizing the video I've made. And I only need 3 lines of text as the overlay, something to say the new video is arriving. So something like, screen comes along, hey, new video dropping soon, or video on the way. And then what the video is about. This video is about turning Loom videos into YouTube automatically. And then another one, make sure you subscribe to get notifications. I give it the desired output of a JSON format. So text 1, text 2, text 3. I give it the transcript. I tell it to do the response object as a JSON format. I don't know why I didn't use an assistant for this one. Well, I know why. because I don't need anything complex. I don't need like a long blog or a really cool LinkedIn post. I literally need just 3 lines of text to say video arriving soon. Watch my video about Loom. Subscribe. Don't need an assistant, so just use a normal GPT module. Then you have a JSON parser to pass that message. So here, we have an example of a message, text 1, new video arriving soon. This will just turn it into a string. And then we have a get short intro video. So this is going to Creatimate again, where I send it to the template. I showed you this already. So I have a template set up for short videos where basically I take my full size video, I create a little sort of rectangle around the bottom left of the screen, and then I overlay it with text 1, text 2, text 3. So it's like, hey, it means when I make my videos and I see the timer come up, the first 20 seconds, I'm always like, this has to be a standalone video. So I just want to say hello, introduce what the video is about. Happy to talk to you soon. Creates the short video through Creatimate. So I send it the original video so that it has that first 20 seconds and the text. And then again, just update the Airtable and create a record to say there is a short video that needs approving. So in the end, I'll just discard the changes because I've deleted all my API keys, and I have a successful run of it here. Okay, so we see here, it's watched for a new video. So this is one, this is just a video accidentally uploaded actually while testing it, but it's not a particularly interesting video. It's just marketing automation strategies. It was just a random video from my Loom. So I put in the name, I copied and pasted in the Loom link, copied and pasted in the captions. I haven't forgotten to come back to the captions element, but I copy and paste that in for now. And I also uploaded manually a thumbnail, a screenshot I took of the automation. So it takes that information, the text parser, it takes this text of my share, and then it just grabs this information here. I don't know what to call it. The ID of the video. Okay, that sends to a download link. So I say to the URL, here is the campaign video. Here is the video. It returns me this URL here. So this is where I can download it from directly. The YouTube description then comes up. So it's looked at the transcript and it's created this YouTube video, this YouTube description. So it's got the links I describe. It has the links mentioned in the video, some timestamps, some hashtags. It updates the records. It gets a thumbnail title. So it turns this automate lead gen at scale. Perfect. But as you see here, oops, a daisy. As you see here, the value, to put it in quotation marks, which is not good for me. So this GPT, all that does is it turned it into turbocharge your sales. Oh, that's strange. Okay, that will also be, I didn't notice this, sorry. This is something I would definitely update if I put this into a JSON, because it is going to always return turbocharge your sales, because I made this assistant turbocharge your sales, should be user, stupid, example output. This is good. This is the story behind the story. This is how you troubleshoot and fix problems. So I knew, yeah, I made a mistake here. I obviously put this as a system, so it's always going to return turbocharge your sales now user. But imagine it did work, so I'll just save this quickly. If we suspend our disbelief for a second and pretend that did not happen, I didn't embarrass myself on my YouTube video, what would have happened was we would have got a message back without the quotation marks. So it would just say, instead of turbocharge your sales, it would say lead gen, automate lead gen at scale. Yeah, assistant, stupid idiot, can't believe I missed that. But anyway, what happens next? It searches the records. So it's found my YouTube 1 template and my YouTube 2 template. And you see here, it's in 2 separate bundles. So the array aggregator has now put it into one bundle of number 1 and number 2. And then the iterator shuffles them around. Now it's back to 2 bundles, and hopefully it's in a different, well, maybe it's the same order, but each time it'll be different. So if we run this again, maybe the next time this bundle is bundle 1 and that one's number 2. So then the filter says whatever is number 1 goes through, and then that comes into here. I hope I'm not showing my API key. No, I'm not. Great. So we see here, it has basically said, all right, here's the template ID to use. These are the modifications. So this is the thumbnail image, and then the text 1, turbocharge your sales. And then the same goes true for the Gumroad image. So it's taken the template ID and it's put in the new text and the new background, easy peasy. Socials, it's created some long form content for me here. So here we have Again, oh, so annoying. Jason announcement, new video alert on marketing automation. You see here, it's put it in the n/n, so this means a new paragraph. This is great for when I want to post it through an API call. Hey, LinkedIn fam, I'm thrilled to announce I'm dropping a new video. So it's created the thing. Again, as always, work a lot on the prompting and also if you're using an assistant instead of a GPT, work a lot on making sure that when you upload the stuff, the example content, you also have a section of like words not to use, like LinkedIn fam. I would never use that. It's very AI-ish. But in any case, I rarely ever post this entirely. I always use this as a starting point. So I don't post automatically. It goes through an approval process and then I make the updates. We'll come into that bit in a second. But yeah, same is true for the short form LinkedIn. So we see here, new video alerts. Or is this the old one? Oh, sorry, this is not the new one. So this is the LinkedIn business. This is the cleanup. So it's now, as you see here, it doesn't have the introduction of JSON ~, and maybe some stuff at the end. Then the JSON passes it, so it turns it into an announcement and a deep dive. The solopreneur then is new content. So this one here, we see here, ~, JSON, and then ~, at the end. But it's created the benefits and the comparison. This GPT just cleans it up a little bit. So we see here, we have the message, the content, benefits and comparison, and then the JSON file here. Turns it into an actual past JSON. So we have benefits, we have comparisons. Goes into the Airtable, creates the record. Same for make a Gumroad product page, walkthrough doc, email blaster, school post suggestion, and then as well here for the video, new video arriving soon, how to use Apollo and Airtable for lead generation at scale. Make sure you subscribe to get a notification. Passes the JSON, text 1, text 2, text 3. Creates a short intro video. Data. So, requested content. Yeah, so it has the template ID, the modification, the video that I'm adding in. And then text 1, text 2, text 3. Okay, so that's all worked. You'll see here I don't have the Airtable records updated because when I tested that I didn't have it, but it would be the same thing. Just because I unlinked it when I was testing it, it would it would be the same process as all of, come back to diagram, it'd be the same process for all of the other ones. What happens is it adds in the YouTube short link. So the final view, if we come into video content, so this is an example one I ran earlier, this is what we get. I have marketing automations for strategies, the status should be changed. I get the Loom link, I have the captions, I have the downloaded file of the original Loom one if I want it. I have a suggested YouTube description I need to come in and update and change. This YouTube link is blank for now. This is from previous testing. Ignore this hasn't happened yet. We have the thumbnail screenshot I took. We have the YouTube thumbnail. We have the Gumroad thumbnail. We have the Gumroad product page suggestion. We have a how-to. We have a school post idea. We have an email blast idea. We have LinkedIn message 1, LinkedIn message 2, LinkedIn message 3, LinkedIn message 4. And we have a link to the YouTube short video. So this would look something like this. Hi, this is George from Upfish, marketing automation expert. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you... Yeah, great. Nothing earth-shattering. Again, I'm not a designer. I'm not a videographer. You want to play with your template more than I have. I just wanted to see if it worked, and it does. So we get all of this stuff. The next step is to basically come into it, make the changes, because it's not going to be 100% brilliant. So just come in, make the changes, change the status in the intro, mark all of this stuff as done or delete it or whatever. So it's done. And then the next stage is actually to post it. Okay, so the next stage is to upload these videos once we've approved them to YouTube and to socials, which is a pretty straightforward process, thank God. So this last part of the video should go pretty quickly. The first stage is an Airtable, which is watching for records. So when our video content, once we've had a look at it all, we've changed all of the copy or whatever, we've moved it from approved for YouTube to approved for YouTube, which, as I think as I've mentioned, is a pretty terrible naming convention. Approved for YouTube, probably, yeah. So when it comes into Airtable, it's approved for YouTube. This lets you know I've got to change everything, go into the descriptions, go into the LinkedIn, blah, 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 make it all good. And then you move it to approved for YouTube. If I were you, I would change this to something easier to understand. But once it's in that section, this Airtable record, it finds it. The next stage gets the video file. So this downloads the Loom file that we have attached here using the URL provided. So it grabs that video from Airtable, and then it posts it to YouTube. So there's two ways to do this. Well, more than two ways, but in terms of two easy ways to do it, the ones that I'm going to go through, I'll just describe here. So the first option available is to use make built-in YouTube module. So here, you just add in the module, and I'll say, okay, the name of it, connect it to the name I have in Airtable. I map it to the get file call that we made earlier, to the Airtable URL. I change the video category, the privacy status, so you can be public, private, unlisted. I add in the description that we've got from Airtable. And then it's good to go. There are some few other options. So this is very good, very easy to use. Problem is, it doesn't allow you to add thumbnails, as we see before. So the way around that is, if you don't want to use thumbnails, is just ignore it. Not everybody needs thumbnails, although I would recommend you use them. But if you think that just like the screenshot, the initial thumbnail that Loom chooses for you is good enough, great, go ahead. If not, the other option is to use a Slack message here. So here, once it gets uploaded, we say there's a thumbnail, video's been uploaded, here's the link. So the link is https://youtube.be/ and then the video ID from when we upload it. Then it just sends you a Slack message, say there's a new video, then you can just jump in, upload it, put in the thumbnail manually. The other option is to use a tool called iRishare. Okay, so this is a social media schedule I found that is pretty special in that their YouTube functionality is by far the best. I've had a look at a few of them, and for the most part, all social media tools, they're like, here is a video file and a description, and that's it. They don't let you do the thumbnails, which this one does. So here you have the option to add in thumbnails. You have also the options for visibility, category IDs, notifying subscribers. It's a lot more robust. The problem is though, it costs like $99 a month. So it's pretty expensive. If you only plan on using this like, 2 or 3 times a month. I did actually email these people to ask if they have a free trial. They said no. I said, hey, but I'm George from Upfish. I have a YouTube channel, but my videos regularly get like 20, 30 viewers. You would get a lot of marketing kudos if you were to give me and my audience like a free trial or like a discount. But regrettably, they did not get back to me. Some might say unsurprisingly. So in any case, I did test it out to see if it worked. So this is what this is for. So again, if you want thumbnails involved, then what I would do here is get rid of these YouTube modules and replace it with these two modules. The first one here is a ChatGPT. And what this does is essentially it's going to create a JSON. So here we have, this is the JSON structure we want. So the easiest way I found to get this to work is to basically say, hey, ChatGPT, I need to turn this into a working JSON call. Here's my post with the YouTube description, which is important because the YouTube description might have colons in it or quotation marks or other things that could break a JSON call. So by saying, hey, post, YouTube description, platform, YouTube, media URLs, this is the video I'm uploading, YouTube options, title is the name, visibility public, thumbnail is the YouTube thumbnail we have here. So this is the link that we got from CreatorMate. And then you fill out the rest of it. And then this creates, as we see here, it creates a JSON call. Okay, so you see here, it works. And then it goes into a call to iRishare, don't know how to pronounce it. So here we make a call to irishare.com/API/post. The requested content is purely what the results we get from the OpenGTP. And then that should, in theory, upload the video. Now, as I say, I couldn't test this because I didn't want to pay for it. But I will say this, when I was testing it, when I made a mistake with a JSON, it would say, error because of no video URL attached or comma in unexpected place or this kind of stuff. But when it actually works, it just comes up with the error of you need a premium plan, which lets me know that this process would in theory work. If I wanted to pay for the premium or business plan, my video would have been posted. It would have been posted with this information here, which is all good. So it would work. So all you need to do is just change these postings with this, and that's an alternative for you to do it with the thumbnails, no manual interaction. But for the people like me who can't be bothered to pay, then yes, we just get the call, post a long video, then we get a call for the short video. So this is the short link we got from CreatorMate. Post it again as a short video. So to post as a short video, you just post a video, I map it to the second get file module, put a hashtag shorts in the title, put a hashtag shorts in the description. I also add a link to the full video, so that way it will get posted as a short. I have a Slack message to say update the thumbnail for the long video. I add the final links to my Airtable, just so I update the record just to say it's now being posted to YouTube and here are the links. And then finally, I want to post my LinkedIn. So again, if you're using Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or Reddit or whatever, just add in a router with extra flows or branches or whatever. But for me, it's LinkedIn, and the reason I use Social Bee is twofold. One, I got a lifetime plan for them on AppSumo a long time ago, so it's just cheap. I have it. It's good. The other one is that they let you do scheduling. So for example here, what I'm saying is I want to post to my LinkedIn profile category YouTube videos. And within Social Bee, I've already set up YouTube's videos to be like post on Monday at 10, Tuesday at 3, Friday at 4, for an example. So that means that rather than posting directly from LinkedIn immediately, or setting up a system where it's like post this one now, post this one 7 days later, post this one 8 days later, it will just post it whenever in the schedule it says, oh, this is the time of day, it goes into the queue, it will pull this out of the queue, post it. So it's a lot better. This is great for me because I have more than just one source of social media posts. So imagine if I was posting this directly to LinkedIn, and then that very same day, my other automation, which looks at my Google Analytics, has seen, okay, this page is doing well. Let's make a post about it, and it posts it. It means I'll have 2 posts basically the same day about 2 different things. But this way, it sends it to a category. So this one is YouTube. My one for Google Analytics is my Google Analytics category. My other one for like what people are talking about in my school community, whatever. It means that they're guaranteed to go on their own specific day. And if there's, as we see here, like 4 posts about the same topic, it will just queue it up and add it to a queue so that if I don't have something posted for next week, it'll be like, oh, well, here's this one ready to go. So essentially, yeah, I just make a post on Social Bee. I add in the text from LinkedIn 1 plus the media URL. Same goes for LinkedIn 2, LinkedIn 3. Sorry, my dog is making a noise. You get? Stop. And then finally, it updates in the Airtable record. So it just creates an in-tray item to say, hey, everything's posted to social. Now you have YouTube links. You can update your Gumroad and school things. So the things we created before, the Gumroad page, the school post, to say, here is the link you want to use in that. So it adds it to an in-tray so I can keep track of it. So the long and the short of this is, at a basic level, it means if you use Loom or not like me, you have a system to automatically just create all of the other what do they call it? The recycled content surrounding that video, post it on YouTube for you, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, Gumroad, School, all of these other places. In terms of how you might want to change it, again, I use screenshots. You can just add in to the first workflow to create like a DALL-E image or a Midjourney image to pull that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the captions. So there is a way to bring up captions from the information you have, but it's very difficult. I might need to shorten this page down so you can see the URL. So the URL you get for downloading the video, you can also repurpose it using a regex or OpenAI to ask for the captions. So what you do is you ask it basically metadata captions. This is the video ID. Oops, part of the video ID is here. And then you also have the policy stuff, which you get from the video itself. The problem I've found in making this consistently work is, I appreciate this is very difficult to see, is here. You have a -4. So depending on how many versions of the captions you change, my experience seems to be it might be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. And I can't figure it out. Like if I take this out, it no longer works. I need to have the right dash and then the right number after it. So certainly, if this is something that you think you can fix, I'd recommend it because it would be a lot more useful than copying in the 2 seconds it takes to copy and paste the captions. It'd be great if it could be totally automated. Essentially, you take the URL you find here, so this Loom link. Hang on, let me just make this a little bit larger. Okay, so you get a Loom link, okay, and when you ask for that to download, it gives you a full, when you make the post call, it gives you a larger link, which also includes a policy number. Oops, I've lost it all now. Which also gives you the policy number and another number. So you could that's easy to map. You can just ask from that final URL you get. here is the policy, here's the thing. Here is the video ID. I just need to add in this whole metadata / captions. The problem is this. So if I put -1 here, for example, I get nothing. I put -2, I put -3. It's not going to work unless I put -4. But then for a different video, that dash might be 5 or 6. So because there is no API for Loom, I haven't figured that out, but someone smarter than me almost certainly can. And then just to go back to the end of the video before I lose track of where I am. So what does this mean? It means you have your central original content pillar, in this case Loom videos, or it could be anything, and you've got a way to instantly create new content and put it onto YouTube and other social sources. So I hope you found this interesting. It is of course going to be on my school page. It's going to be on my Gumroad. So if you like it, just join there, grab the JSON, start using it. And even if you don't, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. I hope you liked the video. Thank you.